Hey there, welcome to Wednesday's Wisdom. I'm Diane Conklin with Complete Marketing Systems and Diane'sDozen.com. I've had a couple conversations in the last, I don't know, several weeks, and this recurring theme keeps coming up, right? People keep talking about how good I am at systems and how, that's one of my big things. And it's funny because, yeah, systems is something that I do and teach and talk about and all of that. But it's become apparent that I need to be um, talking more about this, right? And offering it more as a front end service kind of thing because it's become like the thing that people are saying to me all the time. And so it struck me as I was talking to somebody yesterday about this that you know perception and reality um, sometimes are different. So my perception is one thing, this guy that I was talking to yesterday's perception is different. The question is, as a business owner, is do I want those two to match, right? And it's just a decision. There's no right or wrong. Um, but if there's business there because this is a perception, then for me it's easy. It's just a tweak of how of positioning, right? I'm not saying offer something completely new, but we've all heard the saying, your perception is your reality. And that's true. My question is their perception is also their reality, right? And so does their perception of you match who you are? And we can talk about it from a couple things. Now look, I'm not talking about manipulation. I'm not talking about being something that you're not. I'm not talking about any of that, right? What I'm talking about is making sure and being intentional that what you're presenting to your market matches what they not what they want, but what they need. Not what they need, but what they want, right? Because we don't buy what we need, we buy what we want. And there's a very sometimes it's a small distinction, sometimes it's a big distinction. People will say it all the time, but they need it. Well, if they don't want it, it doesn't matter, right? We all need to be eating more fruits and vegetables, but that's debatable depending on what kind of dietary plan, right? But let's not go there. But we don't our needs are very few. And so the thing I really want to talk about is there a match? Are you being intentional? And how do you know what people think? How do you know what they think you do? Ask, have conversations. Um, it, it will be obvious pretty quickly, right? But you have to be intentional, again, not manipulative, but intentional about the messages that you're putting out. And sometimes your messaging can change even though what you offer doesn't. Well, what does that mean, Diane? Well, what that means is that based on, messaging is different now because AI is so prevalent, right? Than it was even a few months ago, but certainly a year ago. And so you can be consistent, right? Which I think is very important. You can maintain who and what you are and slightly change your messaging to match the niche that you're talking to, something that's changed in the marketplace, a current event, all of those things, right? And so one of the things I think sometimes that irritates people is that marketing shifts and it changes, and it could shift pretty regularly, right? Depending on how current you want to be. Um, but in this particular instance, I'll just tell you the thing that people have been saying to me is, systems. And yeah, we talk a lot about systems, and systems are important. And so you can bet that I'm going to be talking about that a lot more in the coming weeks and months because it's something that people apparently know me for, right? Which I didn't really realize until I've had 3 or 4 conversations lately. It's always been something I've done. Don't get me wrong, but now it's maybe it's becoming more important to the marketplace today, right? I don't know, but having your thumb on the pulse, if you will, of those kinds of changes is really, really important to your business. So or not, right? You don't have to do those things, but it will certainly keep you ahead of the game and certainly keep you in the market far longer if you can be flexible and adaptable with that. I hope that was helpful. If you have questions, let me know. Otherwise, make it a great day. Until next time.